hi Leslie, so how's it going to work? We're just going to play through the test and we're just going to sort of pause, just have a quick recap really, just make sure that you've taken everything from the clinic that we talked about, and it all makes sense so you can carry it on. So I'll just go back to your centre line so that we can watch right from the start. So I thought it was actually, very good centre line. Shame she had a little trip, but she was very straight, very forward. You are getting that little bit of a head wobble, so that's when we just talked about having that little bit more of a bend through your elbow. Just do it in a little slow motion. So you want a little bit more energy around that turn. And you see how your outside hand comes forward? What it wants to do is just make sure that outside hand is supporting the shoulder. And then just a little bit of relaxation from you down through your shoulders, down to your elbows, into the hands, so that you can just have that slightly more elastic feel down the rein. Because she's in a nice outline, she's plenty on the bit, she's plenty going forward. It's just getting that stillness through the head and neck which will help with those higher marks. And again, I say it's the same thing. So what you want to remember, Leslie, is that you don't have to lower your hands to get her on the bit. If through, remember your own sort of confirmation, if you like, you want to make sure that you're not feeling like you have to have your hands too low. If you just lifted your hands a touch, it could still do exactly the same thing, and I think you'd be a little bit more comfortable through your elbows, because you're having to straighten your arms to get them down to that point. Yeah, I really liked the way you rode that. I thought she looked super straight, super accurate, and we played that back on the day, didn't we? Because you were really looking ahead. You started looking down to the judge really early. Yeah, your outside hand was great there, so that's what I wanted on the centre line. So your left hand was better than your right hand at supporting the outside of her body. So just bear that in mind and make sure that your right hand does as good a job, because she looks super here. Well, I think if we can get where you're using a little bit more leg without speeding her up, just lifting your hands and taking a bit more half halt through your rein in an upward direction and through your core, it'll just be 2 marks higher instantly. You ride onto these centre lines really, really well. You look ahead in good time. Keeps a really nice rhythm. Really accurate. Nice forward transition to walk. And she stays really active in the free walk. Over track's lovely. Could stretch down more. So just something to work on at home. When you take her from the medium to the free walk, think about keeping the feeling down the rein and just releasing as she's willing to take the rein out of your hand, and practice at home until she's, you make a point of getting where that nose is absolutely on the floor before you come back to a medium walk when you're practicing at home. So it becomes just something that she understands how to do. So there she's stretching out really well, but she just wants to stretch further down. So, you would encourage her to get to that position at home so that it's really clear and she understands. Make sure you spend enough time in the walk at home. And actually it's interesting because I thought in this movement here that you were riding the free walk, but you're not, are you? You're riding the medium walk. So make sure your reins are short enough in the medium walk, because it was very clear then when you turned from B that you were going into the free walk. But make sure the reins are short enough in the medium walk that she comes a little bit rounder in her frame and accepts that slightly shorter head and neck in the medium for higher marks as well. So here when you shorten her back up, she wants to have a shorter rein in the medium walk, so she has a more compact outline. Obviously she needs to accept that contact first, but that's be where you're going with it. Nice obedient transition. She's really forward off your leg in the transitions, which is fab. It's just a case of getting a bit more accuracy. And just make sure that little things like that corner there, making sure that she really feels like she's not falling on her shoulder as you ask for canter. That will help. So as you ask for canter, watch at the minute how you slightly lean in and allow her to put the weight on her inside front leg. And actually what you need to do here, just pause it, is give it half halt with your outside rein, squeeze your inside leg, and really imagine her wither coming up to you and her sitting on an outside hind, rather than what happens, look, where she goes on that inside front leg, and that encourages that slight twist then through her body. You know, she has a nice balanced canter, she's in a nice rhythm. I think she could do to go a smidgen more forward at home so that you're practicing that straightness that we talked about, you know, riding down the 3/4 lines, practicing a nice big open canter where she's really nice and straight, and encouraging her to be able to maintain that straightness in the canter, and you feel comfortable to really ride that canter forward. You're slightly better in the canter this way, in that she didn't rush. Again, you had that left hand on the outside, which I think is a little bit stronger, but I still think you could have imagined those withers coming up to you a little bit more, really sort of grown tall through your hat as you asked for canter, to get that transition a little better. She shows great suppleness this way. Again, lovely balance, nice position from you. A smidgen more open with the canter, I think, both ways, but she's a lot straighter this way. Really, really nice. That's lovely. Super. And again, brilliant riding on these centre lines, looking where you're going. Perfectly straight, wonderful. Spot on, fantastic. Really lovely, lovely finish.